Each and every day, enjoy the Simple Six menu at Subway, an entire made-for-you meal featuring one of 6-inch sandwiches like the Italian BMT or Black Forest ham, with any bag of chips and a 21-ounce drink, all for only $6. Subway. Eat fresh.
The B.S. Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. The B.S. Report. The B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the B.S. Report, Monday morning here in Southern California. I don't know if this is the most important B.S. Report we've ever done, but it's in the top 10. And Cousin Sal's on the line, and we're going to spend about 30 minutes talking about what happened in Week 2 NFL and then guessing the Week 3 lines. I'm going to try to do 30-minute minimum, and then we're going to go Breaking Bad at the end. But I don't want to talk Breaking Bad at the end because I don't want to spoil anything. Cousin Sal, have you recovered?
A little Mayweather too, right? Or no?
Oh, yeah.
Time? Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about the Mayweather.
Yeah.
God, this is the biggest podcast we've ever done.
Really big weekend. Really big weekend.
Holy shamoly. And Rivera's last Fenway day. Oh, wait, nobody watched that.
Yeah, we could skip that.
It was like 9-1. All right, let's talk Floyd first. Turns out Floyd's really good at boxing.
Why do we always do this? Like, we see guys like plus 250 against them, and like, oh, man, they really build them up. But, I mean, you were there. You could talk about it better than I can. But another dominating performance, right?
Yeah. On like Thursday, I saw Alvin, who works for our NBA show, who's probably the biggest fight MMA combo fan I know. Mm-hmm. And I was like trying to make the case for Canelo with him on Thursday, and he just talked me out of it in like a minute. He's like, Floyd's locked in. Like, what? Come on. When Floyd's locked in, nobody's beating him. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is how it works with Floyd. Oh, I forgot that part. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. He's so much faster, and his reflexes are so much better than anybody he's fighting, that as long as he takes it seriously, nobody's going to beat him. Like, nobody even hits him.
I know. I agree. He's smarter and he's slicker, and it doesn't matter if he's not stronger or younger. It really just doesn't. At least for now, it doesn't. He really is the smartest fighter of all time, right? For someone who makes such stupid decisions outside the ring, like domestic violence and whatever, betting $15 million on a regular season NBA game, but he really is wise beyond his years in the ring. Like, he fights Alvarez. I think you said this. If he fights him 18 months from now, it's a different story. So he knows he has to get him out of the way now. And he beats up his opponents, but doesn't really knock him out for the most part. So there are some takers, on the other end. But I don't know. He's just incredible.
He outthought Alvarez totally and completely, which on top of his physical gifts makes him unbeatable. But Alvarez, he had a plan. Like, he would spend 40 seconds setting up the overhand right he was planning on throwing. Like, I actually thought Alvarez fought a good fight, but it's just when it came time to throw the punch that he had set up for 40 seconds, Floyd just got out of the way.
Yeah.
And then would hit Alvarez in the face with the right as Alvarez is missing the punch. And by about the 7th round, Alvarez, he had a lot of swagger the first 6 rounds. Like, he was like staring him down like right after the bell rang, all that stuff. By the 7th round, he was like, I can't hit this guy.
I mean, and it's much, much easier said than done. But the thing with Floyd is he usually takes the first round off, the first 2 rounds off. He didn't really do that, but he's at least like measuring you up the first 2 rounds. So that's really where you have to strike. I mean, you might as well make it a 2-round fight with him to throw everything else, all the other, training techniques out of the way. You gotta make this a short fight, because he's like Peyton Manning. Like, look at the Broncos. What do they have? Like 66 points in the second half this year. That's what he does. He analyzes and he adjusts in the second half or 3rd round on, and then it's not even close. It's a runaway.
He had a lot of respect with Alvarez in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I think he was genuinely concerned of how big he was and what the punching power was. And once he realized how much faster he was, then that was it. And the thing that's interesting to me going forward is he has less miles on him probably than any great boxer ever.
The head coach?
He's got less miles and less miles. But
he has Les Miles, Bieber, and Lil Wayne in his corner. Forget it. This guy can't lose.
when you don't get hit in every fight you're in,
Yeah.
you know, he's 36, but it's a pretty young 36.
Yeah, nice.
And the only way this goes south is if, you know, the history of boxing says that eventually these guys stop taking it seriously, or they get involved with the wrong woman, or they get itched in other stuff, and there's that one fight that they don't take seriously, and then they just get creamed.
Well, he almost got involved with the wrong woman with C.J. Ross, the judge, who had to fight a draw for some reason. I mean,
That
are you
was
kidding
horrible.
me?
After 11 rounds, I thought it was a shutout.
Yeah.
And I was right there. I was pretty close to the ring. I couldn't even begin to figure out what round you would have given Alvarez. He wasn't even in the mix.
It was a stretch to give him 2, but to find 6 is just outrageous. I mean, she should have to give it up. I don't know. And she obviously she went the wrong way with Pacquiao Bradley too, in my opinion at least. And I don't follow her too close. So I'm sure there's more carnage down the road, but.
You could give Alvarez the 12th because Floyd got on his bicycle for that one. That's it, though.
First one was maybe close because Floyd wasn't really taking it to him, but
maybe.
Yeah.
I was with some friends who were talking after, and one of my friends was frustrated because he was like, you know, Canelo didn't force the action enough. He's got to get in there and throw elbows and just keep him against the ring and just be a maniac. And I was making the point that, like, I don't know if you can do that with Floyd because, like, he did kind of try to do that a little bit. Every time he did it, Floyd just ducks the 19 things he tries to do and then punches him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And after, like, 3 rounds of that, I don't think your attitude is, I'm going to kick it up a notch and start attacking him. I just don't think people know what to do when they see how fast Floyd is. I don't think there's any possible way to prepare for it.
You know what? I trust his every move. Boxing related, I really do. Like every move in the ring is calculated. He's such a calculated fighter, you know. And even in preparing for fights, and for him to turn down Pacquiao, not to bring it back up, but it makes me think like maybe he would have lost to Pacquiao. Maybe Floyd actually knows something. That's why he stayed away. I mean,
that's interesting.
You could say it's the PEDs or whatever, but he definitely didn't want to put himself up there in there with Pacquiao, but. Yeah,
I genuinely believe that Floyd thought Pacquiao was cheating and wanted a clean, didn't want to risk his perfect record and getting hit in the face for a guy that he thought was cheating.
Yeah, maybe.
And that was what it was about. But it's weird. I came away with more respect for Alvarez, even though he almost got shut out.
Yeah, well, we've seen so many guys go through what he did and just give up from the 6th round on, and he really was taking it to him. I think he was looking to knock him out in the later rounds, too.
He did everything right. It's just, you know, he could have been more aggressive, but again, I don't know how you become more aggressive when you're getting hit in the face every time you try to become more aggressive.
I mean, I don't care who you are. You're 23 and you're walking in that ring, and you know, Mayweather's been there many, many times before. I mean, it's got to freak you out a little bit. Just got to freak you out.
I've seen Floyd twice in person now, and there's just nothing like it. Jay Kang, who writes for us for Grantland, who wrote about the fight, was saying that the only 2 people he's seen that made him feel that way were Pedro Martinez and Floyd. I think that's pretty good. I'd have to think about that.
Really?
What that whole list would be, but it's just seeing his reflexes in person and the different ways he can bend, and I just don't think other human beings. I don't think any other human being should be able to do the stuff that he does.
I know. He throws punches at ridiculous angles. It's just nothing that you could spend 2 weeks in Big Bear training for and get ready prepared for it.
What about when he does the left shoulder thing?
Yeah.
Like, what do you even do when he does that? I was watching it from pretty close, thinking like, I just don't even know how I would try to hit him.
You had good seats. We got it already.
I had good seats.
No, he does the Pernell Whitaker thing, and it just you're left a silhouette of a target. You're left really just nothing.
What would you do?
How would I fight him?
Yeah, what would you do if you did the left shoulder thing? Like, what would your plan be at that point?
There would be a lot of rabid punches when I did. A lot of low blows too. Did you see the low blow in the fight before?
Oh, there was like 7 of them.
That's the way to do it too. When you're up 6 points on the card, just give them one for good measure.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing when I was watching, trying to figure out what Alvarez should do, and I was thinking like, you don't lose a point for the first low blow.
Right. Yeah.
You just really go for it and just nail him once in the nuts. And because the one time he kind of rattled Floyd a little, they had a clinch and Floyd didn't let go and Alvarez got mad. He punched him in the leg. Did you see that?
Right.
Floyd didn't like it. He's shaking his leg. He was really upset and he kind of got rattled. And then the next minute or so, he was a little bit on Floyd-like. And I was thinking like, maybe that's the way you fight him. Maybe it's just a lot of elbows and cheap shots and punching in the nuts. And
great way to take you out of your plan. That's for sure.
Right.
I mean, Rick Bowe was a much better fighter than Andrew Galata, and then you got this big Polish guy swinging at your nads, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Right. It's funny you mentioned him because that was what I was thinking in my head. Like you just go full scale Galata.
Yep.
Congratulations to Andrew Galata, who has, if you fight as dirty as possible in a ring, that's now the name that makes you.
I like it.
So I don't know what Floyd does next. He has 2 fights in May and September, and I don't know who he fights. I don't know what fight would be fun to watch with him because he's so much better than everybody. I mean, if he wants to be immortal, I almost feel like he tries to fight somebody at 168.
Right.
Just goes way up. Just says, "Watch this! I'm going to beat somebody who weighs 175 pounds when we're actually fighting."
That may have to be it. Yeah. I mean, he wants to be 50-0 though, right? Isn't that the thing? He has to beat Marciano. He has to be 50-0. That would probably be it.
Didn't Larry Holmes beat Marciano, or am I imagining that?
No, I think he needed to beat Spinks to tie him.
Oh, that's what it was.
Sure.
You're right.
Pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But is anybody really sitting around thinking how cool it would be if Marciano's record fell?
No.
Like how many? What's the over/under? The amount of people actually care about that? Like 20?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Max Kellerman and everyone in his family, and that's the 2 of us talking about it now. But yeah, and when you have $137 million in the pantry in cash, it probably doesn't really matter that much.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That the fight or the song that the guy sang when they were walking into the ring was really one of the worst 5-minute stretches I've ever had in my life.
Was it really?
Oh, it was just horrible. It was so loud, and the song was awful, and Justin Bieber was involved, and
yeah.
It was really
hilarious
something
to look at. You should try to get I mean, it was such a long walk. Even Alvarez's walk to the ring was insufferable, 17 minutes. But then you throw Biebs in there and Little Wayne. Ugh.
Let me ask you this. What if, all right, here's the top 160. Oh, see, he'll never fight Golovkin. He'll never do that.
Never fight who?
The guy from Kazakhstan.
Oh, yeah.
The 160-pounder.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll never fight that guy.
I don't know what's too heavy anymore.
Would he fight Peter Quillen?
You just don't want to end up like Roy Jones Jr., right?
When you get bored, you start fighting bigger guys, you get hit a couple times and then all of a sudden you lose like 10 of 12 fights.
Yeah, well, how was he remembered, Roy Jones Jr.?
He's remembered he was on that Floyd scale kind of for a while, and then he got greedy and started fighting big guys, and then got the kicked out of him.
Suffered colossal KOs at the end, yeah.
Yeah, maybe Floyd just keeps kicking ass, breaks the Marciano record, leaves boxing with more brain cells than any champ ever.
Why not?
All right. Let's talk week 3 lines.
Let's do it. Week 2 was interesting.
Yeah, we could talk about week 2 as we hit week 3.
Okay.
This drives me crazy. I feel so stupid, and I feel like such a letdown of a human being. Every year the underdogs do well.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Every year, just without fail, the underdogs do well.
I know.
And guess what? They're 22-11 this year.
Were they 9-6 last week? That's what I had it as week 2.
Oh, did I add wrong?
I had 9-6, including the Jets.
Yeah. A 9-5-1. I had.
All right. Well,
because I had the Rams as a tie. So I guess you could say the favorites.
Like 6 points or something, but
yeah. So
anyway, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. But you look at these lines, and why would you take Buffalo over Carolina getting 3? Why would you take? I don't know. I'm trying to look at some of these shorter lines. Arizona is a risky pick over Detroit. all these dogs you just want to stay away from. Tampa Bay, what did they do to show you that they could stay with New Orleans?
I added wrong. It was 11, 18, and 2. That's what they are.
Yeah,
home teams are 13, 16, and 2. Home dogs are 6 and 3. I thought I had the only game I was wrong on yesterday was Broncos Giants. I wouldn't change any of the other picks I had, and yet somehow the Saints don't cover against the Bucks, even though they should have won by 20. Somehow the Panthers, they win the game, and then there's a flag. And then on top of it, should have gone for it on 4th and 1, which is a whole other story. But it was just one of those weeks. It was like these little. The Lions. Reggie Bush goes out. What happened?
Well, no, I warned everyone, the reader to my blog against week 2. It's traditionally a screwed up week because you throw all your eggs in the week 1 basket, and you're like, all right, this team is good, this team is terrible. And, then you have, next thing you know, you have 2 teams who are struggling to get their first win in week 3 who were playoff teams last year.
The Chiefs also. I'm sorry, you shouldn't have covered that game.
The Chiefs? I wanted to punt there. I don't know why. I know it's easy to go for a field goal on the last drive, but I wanted to punt rather than kick a field goal.
That was stupid.
Yeah. The whole
All right, let's do.
Go ahead. Let's do it. We'll start with Thursday night. You won the first week. We tied the second week. Here's week 3. KC at Philly. Andy Reid back.
Andy Reid's back. That's a pretty limited Chiefs team offensively. There was like a lot of Alex Smith scrambling, sometimes for his life. I mean, were you rooting against them because your team was playing them? Were you scared of them offensively at all?
Well, you know what? It just had the makings of a road game that we lose all the time. And I'm about to lose the we tag with the Cowboys, but it just
good idea.
I wasn't too impressed with them, but I knew it was like, a couple third down conversions. It was a game where the Cowboys should have had 20 at the half. They had 10, driving to go ahead, and they suffer a dumb turnover and can't run the ball when they need to. Poor play calling in the red zone, just everything. The same game for the last 9 years, and I'm sick of it. But, I wasn't that impressed with the Chiefs' offense.
Yeah. Hey, Jamal Charles is a little scary.
Yeah, he's okay. Everyone should be a little better than they are, I think. Charles and Wayne Bowe, and I know it's early yet, but
it seems like they were. I don't know if this is part Alex Smith or part Andy Reid or both, but it seemed like they were very afraid to put him in the position to take any chances whatsoever. It was like a very, very safe, almost like what Denver used to do with Tebow 2 years ago.
Right.
I had the Eagles favored by 3.5.
All right. Wow, you're on the board already. It's exactly 3.5. I said 4.5. I thought it was going to be a little higher. I don't know. I think Philly, if there's such a thing as a team wanting to win a game more, Philly here at home should have a little of that juice, right?
Did you see the time of possession stats for them yesterday?
Yeah, I know.
40 over 40 for the San Diego and like 19 and change for the Chiefs. Like, that's a real problem.
Right.
I know you want to get off as many plays as possible, but man, if your defense is going to be on the field 35 to 40 minutes a week, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. And if they lose this one, they won convincingly week 1. They go 1-2. They're at Denver. I mean, all these NFC East teams are going to have to go against Denver, so they could be in trouble if they drop this.
Having to play the Eagles 4 days after you played the last game is not really an advantage, I'm going to say. It's my expert opinion.
Boy, Andy Reid, though, he has that look. He has a giant grin on his face, and he wears that enormous red windbreaker. He looks like the planet Mars. He's so happy with himself, though, patrolling the sideline. I just wonder how the NFL Network's going to screw up this Thursday game. It looks on its face. It looks like it's going to be good, but
God, they're so sloppy, those games.
Yeah.
They just don't care either. I'm sure they're going to add Wednesday night games next.
Yeah. All right, Sunday, we might as well get my team out of the way. St. Louis at Dallas.
I had some trouble with this one.
Yeah, I was off on this one, too.
I threw this in the Vegas zone. I had the Cowboys by 4.5.
Wow. You are doing some spectacular cheating this year, I have to say. It is exactly 4.5. I went 6. I never go too high with my team, and I for some reason thought they would be a half-dozen-point favorite.
I'm 2 for 2. Dead on.
Yeah,
I'm 14 away from DiMaggio. I watched that Rams game pretty carefully because I picked them in the Vegas contest that I think I've been eliminated from after 2 weeks. That game swung on the interception touchdown.
Right.
I don't know if you saw it, but Bradford, he whipped the screen pass at the guy's hands that he get in. The Falcons ran it back, and the game was basically over at that point. But if that play doesn't happen, I think that game goes down to the last couple minutes because once Jackson went out, Atlanta couldn't run the ball anymore.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams run the ball well either. Richardson.
Well,
he threw 55 times or something. Was that it? I don't know the exact number, but I don't think they're going to win games throwing that much.
Well, there was some stat I read. He threw 55 times, but 35 of them were 5 yards or less.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
And he's not exactly like Tom Brady in the dink and dunk department.
Right.
But I don't know. I thought that was impressive that the Rams didn't fold because they were down 24-3. It would have been easy to roll over, and they didn't.
Well, I don't want to say it's a must-win for these teams, but here's how the NFC looks right now. The South is probably going to have two teams, Saints and Falcons. The West, I don't care what happened last night, is probably going to have two teams. And then there's the Bears and Packers hovering. So I think Dallas is in a better spot because they could win possibly now the worst division in football where the Rams can't. So interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to cross the Rams off if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will say your team, I don't think you have a must win until like week 14.
Really?
8-8 might take that division.
I was looking at that. The last two are at Washington and versus Philly, and we're 7-7 going into that. Could work out.
Yeah, you're the new NFC West.
Good.
It's been a role reversal. Congratulations. Hey, I really think 9-7 could win the division.
And we're 2-0 against the spread. That's all that really matters in terms of this.
Congratulations on that.
Houston and Baltimore.
Houston did not deserve to win for 2 straight weeks. It's one thing to have like gritty come from behind wins, but their fans were booing really loudly during that game.
Yeah.
Like their fans are about as angry as home fans can get, and at that point you shouldn't be able to win.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, we like I don't know what happened there, and the field goal kicking, that was a mess, but, and I don't know if they're going to figure out this Foster thing. Like, he's not going to be happy the whole season. And with we don't know if Johnson's out.
I like Tennessee. I think Tennessee's good.
I like their defense, too.
I think in Locker's like not awful.
No.
But that was a total giveaway by them.
Locker and Tannehill are starting to raise their level a little bit.
You're up by 8 with 5 to go. You should win that.
Yeah, it's bad.
I had trouble with this. I'm not going to hit this one exact. I have the Ravens as a pick'em over the Texans.
All right. I went Ravens -1. It's Texans +2.5. So I get that one, right?
So the Ravens are favored by 2.5?
Sorry, Texans -2.5.
So I win that one.
You said pick'em, right? Oh, you're right. God, you can't just give me one. Doing that one. All right.
I knew that.
You know what? I'm proud of Vegas for making Houston a favorite.
Yeah, I think that's the right move.
You'd be proud of Vegas? They took like 3/4 of my net worth, but I am still proud of them.
I didn't know how much they would factor in that Baltimore home field advantage because they are like almost unstoppable at home.
Ray Rice also banged up. Who knows?
Banged up.
Monday. Detroit at Washington.
Disappointed in the Lions. I was a believer.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush shouldn't mean that much. You shouldn't just totally fall apart because Reggie Bush isn't playing.
I hate that game for many reasons, but the biggest is that, for gamblers, we don't have a doormat team in the NFC. There's now that the Cardinals play well at home, at least this week, there's no guarantee bet against in the NFC.
Yeah, Carson, he threw the pick 6, and it was like, oh, this is great. I'm so happy to have Carson Palmer and the crappy Cardinals in my life. This is going to be awesome. And then they somehow win the game.
Right.
I have I had trouble with this one, too. I have no idea if I'm right or wrong, but I have the Lions by 1.5 at Washington.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I get this one. Let me figure it out. I said Detroit. I said Washington -4, and Washington's giving 2.
I think that's a mistake. I like the Lions.
Well, one thing's for sure, that the Redskins defense has not been the same since Sean Payton was suspended. I mean, they need that guy to come back. What is it with them? Why could that defense be so horrible all of a sudden?
They are horrible.
But must-ish win for them. Definitely need it more.
I would cross them off for the season, but who the hell knows with your division? Maybe 6-10 will make the playoffs.
I know. San Diego, Tennessee.
This would be a good year to incorporate my rule that you have to be over 500 to make the playoffs. It'd be really exciting, right? Then the Rams could go 9-7. They might be able to sneak in.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
San Diego, Tennessee.
Oh.
I hit this one exactly.
We fell behind on pace, by the way. I apologize to America. Titans by 3, I have.
It's 3.5.
Oh.
That is a good game.
That's a good game.
You know, either team could have been 2-0 or 0-2, right? There's a few of those games where either team could be 2-0 or 0-2.
I think the Chargers are entertaining.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'd rather have a competent Phil Rivers in my life than an incompetent Phil Rivers.
Sure.
It's fun. I like watching the uniforms. It makes me think of Dan Fouts back in the day. Like I like when they're a high-scoring Chargers team.
It makes me a little leery about Chip Kelly that, Phil Rivers is a typical meltdown in the works and couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
They're good.
What died?
New Orleans.
What died this year is the West Coast team playing the early East Coast game. I think everyone who has a gambling problem and loses all the time wagering started betting on that and single-handedly swung that.
That's what made it more impressive, right? A short week, they went to the East Coast. I didn't even think of that. Arizona, who could be 2-0 or 0-2 against New Orleans, who could be 2-0, 0-2.
I don't know what to make of Arizona. I have Saints by 7.
All right, I hit this exactly, too. It's 8.
Okay.
And we're looking at our first on the 3-team teaser?
Well, just for the record, we recommended I said I wanted to do the 4-team Falcons, Packers, Bengals, Bears tease.
Looking good.
And the Bears ended up covering it by a half point.
Right.
But that's all right. It's a cover as far as I'm concerned. So now you just need the Bengals for that one.
On my Grantland blog, I gave out Green Bay, Miami, Jacksonville. Because I said 16 points, I don't care. And you tried to talk me out of Jacksonville. You said, no way, Blaine Gabbert on a 3-team teaser on the road. And I said, you didn't say, and then I'm like, well, he didn't say anything about Chad Henne on the road, the 3-team teaser. So,
you had to sweat that out.
19-3 halfway through the fourth quarter. It didn't look at all like they were going to score. And, I don't even know how I covered that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Tampa Bay at New England. Again, both could be 2-0. Both could be 0-2.
Just out of principle, I can't favor the Pats by over 10 over anybody with the receivers we have. So I'm going to say 9.5.
Oh, you went high. I went 8, and they only have them by 7.
Oh, wow.
Well, I could win this week.
That's insulting. We had 10 days to prepare for Josh Freeman.
Yeah. I don't know. You still have to score, and they have a couple good corners.
I've done a 180 on the Pats. I wish there was tape of the conversation I had with my dad where he was like really, really upset. He's so mad about that we don't have Danny Woodhead. Like, this is like a big thing in my dad's life now that we didn't pay enough money to keep Danny Woodhead.
Right. Something like that.
And we should trade for him. And why can't we get him? He's their third string running back. We should just bring him back. Belichick never admits when he makes a mistake. Like, he's furious about Danny Woodhead. But I was saying, like, we played 100 hours after the first game.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the 3 best receivers from the first game. Like, and Thursday night games are choppy anyway. Like, the odds of that being a choppy offensive performance were high.
And the weather was terrible. And I never really thought they would lose. They just win. They kind of just win those games, don't they? For the most part.
I like the Pats in this Week 3 game.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there any chance we hear T.O.'s name or Ocho Cinco or any of those guys? There's still some guys who could catch 40 balls a year.
I think they'd rather get these young guys some work, right?
Yeah.
So they're 2-0. Like, they need to go 9-5. They're going to make the playoffs. Like, you might as well try to get the young guys some reps.
You get in sync with them. Yeah. All right, Cleveland at Minnesota. Cleveland is not a team that could have been 2-0. It could be 2-14. But.
I had the Vikings by 6.5, and I feel bad for Lombardi.
I did too.
I can't even imagine what his life is like with Brandon Weeden week after week. It's just got to be killing him.
Well, now Brandon Weeden, but let me just say, I felt worse for Lombardi. I put it at 7, and it's 4.5, so you get that one. Minnesota by 4.5.
Oh, man.
Vegas zone.
You know what's sad? The Browns have a good team. They just are having an awful quarterback. Like Josh Gordon comes back for them this week, and their defense was good. Like,
you know what's also sad? That so usually Vegas. So Weeden got hurt a little yesterday. He sprained his thumb, and he may not play this week.
That helped the line for the Browns.
Usually Vegas waits on a line till Thursday. Like Aaron Rodgers is out. You don't see a line till Friday. Maybe before game time. They put one up right away. But whatever. Jason Campbell, that's fine. We don't care. Vegas, sprinted to action. But
it's hard to believe Jason Campbell's not better than Brandon Weeden.
I know. You have to have
Brandon Weeden
a little bit mobility.
Did you see? Didn't he come back in at the end, or did I hallucinate that?
I didn't see the very end. I turned it off when it looked like.
I'm pretty sure I saw this. He came back in, and it was 4th and 10, and he ran out of the pocket and just did one of those little scoop passes for the 2-yard gain to finish it instead of just throwing it up in the air for grabs.
He loves his tight end, Jordan Cameron. There's a Cameron Jordan on the Saints, so I always screw it up. But this one's Jordan Cameron. And I think he had a 40-yard play to him, and then it's just nothing the rest of the game.
I got to say, it's really hard for me to believe that Tebow isn't better than anybody that the Browns are trying out.
All right, that's enough.
He won a playoff game 2 years ago. I don't mean to sound like Skip Bayless, but Brandon Weeden could never win a playoff game in a million years, ever.
They have
never happen.
They have an all-pro running back.
I can't believe Tebow would be worse than what we're watching.
Can't believe you mentioned his name. Giants at Carolina.
No, I'm so mad at the Giants. I have Carolina as a pick'em.
All right, I had problems with this. I think
Me too.
You're going to get this because I said Giants giving 2, it's Carolina giving 1.
Yeah. So I was pretty close.
It's 5-4 now. You've jumped in front. How'd that happen?
The Panthers, they have a bad coach. They should have fired him last year. We talked about this in Vegas when we did our preseason podcast, and it's a shame because they have a pretty good team except for their secondary. And I just can't believe that guy made the same mistake he made 3 times last year and the year before. It's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
You're up 3. Just run the ball and finish it. And if you get it, your team is so fired up that you did that on the road. That's a season changer.
Right.
And instead they kicked the field goal to go up 6. Still 100 seconds left. You have a terrible secondary. You have 2 guys out in the secondary. I thought that was idiotic. God.
Instead, he could be 0-3 heading into a bye. Do they just fire him during that bye week?
They do, and we should have bet on him for the odds. That was stupid.
We should still check it. We should still check that.
I wish I could go back in time and change every bet I made and didn't make.
They should make a movie like that.
They should.
They should, last year on a Thursday night, the Giants beat the crap out of Carolina, in Carolina. So, remember, Panthers tricked everyone into thinking they were good.
I hate the Giants. They cost me 2 Super Bowls, and they lose money for me every week, and I hate them. I really genuinely hate them with every fiber in my body.
Thank you. They're my word. Wait, hold on. Brandon Jacobs just finished his touchdown dance from 1 yard out. Hold on. I thought I should mention that. Yeah, Giants.
We got to go because we got to talk Breaking Bad. Let's zoom through these.
Cincinnati.
Which one is it?
Green Bay at Cincinnati. It's the last of the early games.
Oh, I got Green Bay by 3.
I can't figure this out for anything.
Why do they have a line on this?
You get it. I said, yeah, I know. I had to look, that's the thing. I had to look hard for this one because the site we usually go off of didn't have it. So I took the average of every other site that had it, and it had Green Bay by 1. And I said Cincy by 1.5, so you're going to get it.
Okay.
That's a good game.
That's a really good game. I'll tell you one thing. Having Aaron Rodgers on both of your fantasy teams when you also have Reggie Cobb is really exciting.
I'll tell you another thing. You took a lot of crap for saying Reggie Cobb when you mean Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb. I keep calling him Reggie Cobb. Listen, I'm in my mid-40s, and I'm allowed to accidentally call people the wrong name every once in a while.
You could have the running back from the Buccaneers from 1997 who Rush for 5 touchdowns.
Can't he just change his name to Reggie Cobb, and then I won't screw it up anymore?
It would be easier. My God, we're going to have to give him nicknames like Berman to remember. That's the only way.
I'll start calling him Corn on the Cob.
Yeah. All right, late afternoon games. Atlanta at Miami.
Boy, this might be the game of the day.
I mean, this is weird. Like, we talk about, you should take underdogs, but everyone's I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give this line away. You say it.
I have the Falcons by 2.5.
I have the Falcons by 1.5, and it's Miami. Dolphins of Miami by 1.5.
Oh, wow. See, Vegas knows.
They think they're good.
Vegas likes this Dolphins team, and I like this Dolphins team. I took them last week.
I had them too, and I think people bet them heavy. Hey, House and I went 5-0 in the Super Contest. We're 8-2 after 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations! You have a giant lead over me.
We do. 8-2's got to be right up there, right?
Yeah, I think I'm 3-7, so 8-2 is definitely way up there.
8-2 is better. We're going to try to see if the Hilton will we're going to cash out now. We'll take.
I want you to win the $600,000 because only you put your Social Security on it for tax purposes. So House makes out like a bandit. It's going to lead to a first lawsuit between two friends.
Oh, what a scoundrel! Hey, look, I would take 2 free buffet coupons from the Hilton. I don't care. All right, Buffalo at the Jets.
Yeah, Jets by 3.
I said Jets by 3. They made it 2.5. I think it started at 3, went down to 2.5. So we tie that one.
I think it's funny that if Luke Kuechly, who wasn't even involved in the play, didn't commit pass interference, then E.J. Manuel throws an interception on that 3rd and 6, and the Bills lose. But instead, this pass interference that really didn't have anything to do with the play happens, and then E.J. Manuel's the savior. And I mean, I'm happy for the Bills fans, but that was pretty freaky.
You didn't like that one. I just can't believe the Jets are favored, and it's week 3, and they're already favored to anyone. But
I like E.J. Manuel, though.
I know you do.
I do. I like him.
Well, you know what's funny? That takes us to the next game, Jacksonville at Seattle. And this is interesting. You called me.
What?
There were reports that Russell Wilson took a shower during that weather delay. Yeah, that is actually true. And then now this call was not true, but let's pretend. But yeah, well, hold on. I'll just play the phone call. Cousin Sal, sports guy here. I'm all the way down south in the Pacific Northwest. They call it Bayou Country for the Seahawks and 49ers. I may be a little confused. One too many Amber Ale, caramel macchiato mixes. But anyway, my boyfriend Russell Hustle and Bustle Man Muscle Wilson was kind enough to get me into the locker room during this rain delay. He knows how terrified I am with lightning bolts, and all I have to do is hear thunder. My boxer shorts turn into Skitter City. There's Russell now, showering up, trying to get his mind right before he takes the field again. Look at how he soaps his chest, creates a glistening effect. I want to do like in 50 Shades of Grey and squirt baby oil into my hand and rub his sweet buttocks with careful tenderness. Oh, what I would like to do to my sweet EJ right now. Sweet Russell. I meant Russell. What am I talking about? Code red brain fart. I love Russell Man Muscle Wilson, not EJ, the original VJ Manual. Sports guy over and out. So you slipped. There was like a Freudian slip in there.
That's when I get drunk, weird shit happens.
You like this EJ Manual guy.
I do like EJ a little bit, and I felt bad that I had taken Carolina yesterday because I was kind of secretly deep down rooting for EJ. Yeah,
right. I'm reading into that. You're going to be a couple.
He fits my profile.
Jacksonville at Seattle.
Oh, I don't think I've gone this high in a while, and I don't even care if I'm wrong. I went 17.5.
Well, you almost nailed it. I went 14.5. I thought that was high enough, and it is 17. So you get it.
I think that gets higher.
Let's just see where we stand.
How does anyone take the Jags in that game?
Oh, I'm 8-6. I'm going to lose again. No one should take the Jags here. It's stupid.
The 12th man alone is worth 20 points in this game. There's no MGD. Freaking Chad Henne. No Justin Blackman.
Yeah, it was very loud in Seattle. It was like the Easter dinner at my Aunt Chippy's house. That Niners didn't have a chance.
I tweeted a link today to the Jags fans are having a Tebow rally today.
Oh, are they? Is that true?
Oh, it's true. It is true, my friend.
Good. Let them
Tebow rally.
Good, yeah. Good.
Why not?
There by 35.
Why not? Why not bring Tebow in?
Chad Henne covers on 3-team teasers. That's all I know.
Yeah, you're right.
Indy at San Fran.
Niners by 7.5, and I think they beat the hell out of the Colts in that game.
I went too low. I said 7. You went too low, but you're closer. It's 10.5.
That's too high.
And that went up, too. That's after that was like 9 and then went to 10.5 after the Niners lost. So
here's the problem. The Colts really have trouble protecting Luck.
Yes, that's bad.
And now you have this pissed off Niners team at home with a really good defense, and
Right.
they're just going to be like swarming him. It's not great for him.
It is bad. I guess when you think about it, it could be 6-0, 13-0, and then 27-6 final.
It's tough.
Chicago at Pittsburgh. This is a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Competing with the Emmys.
It's weird that there's a line for this.
Yeah, I know. There was a line for this, but I had to search for the Cincinnati line.
Because the Steelers might lose like 40-3 tonight, and then the Bears would be favored in this game. But I'm going to say Steelers by 2.5.
Steelers by 2.5. Oh, yeah, okay. I said Steelers by 2, and it's the Bears by 2. So I don't know who gets this. I'm not
That's
very good.
Stupid. Obviously, nobody watched Jay Cutler yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
he's just never going to get it. He's like, it's like talking about like Rick Rosner or somebody. Like some people just are who they are. You're not going to be like, oh, maybe this is the year they turn it around and become a normal human being.
Yeah.
With Jay Cutler, it's like he's always going to be Jay Cutler. He's never going to get better. He's like in his early 30s now.
That team annoys. I don't know what to make of that team. Like the Forte fumbling, that's the team I remember, the Bears. But this Marty Bennett scoring touchdowns, it gets me mad. He disappears after week 6. He's like the Great Pumpkin. Poof.
I really thought, I agree with Mays, our Chicago Bears fan.
Yeah.
I thought that was the Bearsiest game maybe ever.
Really?
Right? It had the Hester with the returns, and Jay Cutler doing dumb stuff, and up and down and swings, and at different points you thought you were convinced each team was going to win the game. There's no question. And just very Bears-ish.
I think they win, though. I think Pittsburgh's horrible. I think they go 3.
I do, too.
There.
I'm on that. I think Pittsburgh and Washington are terrible.
Monday, Oakland at Denver.
Oh, God.
This is what a waste.
I have the Broncos by 16.5.
All right. I went 19.5 because I've watched the Denver Broncos play, and they're pretty much unstoppable.
Yep.
And it's 14.5. Why is it so low? They should be favored by less than Seattle's favored over Jacksonville?
Maybe Raiders' defense isn't horrible?
That is too low, Mike. Mike, you got Terrell Pryor. You could have Richard Pryor back there, Mike. It doesn't matter to me. I'm taking Denver.
What if they allowed you to do 14-point teasers, but you had to pay 3-to-1 vig on it?
And take Oakland?
Would you do? No, I'm saying would you do a 2-team Broncos Seahawks tease, but you had to do $3,000 to win
$1,000? You sort of can. They have money lines for it, and that's probably what you'd pay. You'd probably pay 3 to win 1.
No, the money line would be higher, I think.
Parlaying those two.
All right, so I beat you again.
Yeah, you beat me again. Lots of fun this is.
Yeah. All right, Breaking Bad.
I didn't see it. No, it was...
Anyone who didn't watch Breaking Bad, just go away. We'll see you next week. Wish Cousin Sal luck at the Emmys.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, the writing staff, nominated for an Emmy this year. It's so emotional. Oh.
Going to be fun. Let me just say, while we're signing off for that, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Andy Samberg tonight, and Amy Poehler, Aaron Paul, the great Aaron Paul, we're going to speak about right now, and James Caan later in the week. But
when is Aaron Paul on?
I think he's on Wednesday. Let me check.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, come by.
I am. We're going to dinner that night,
right,
so
right.
I'm going to come by for Aaron Paul.
Oh, good. All right, we're going to get a picture.
Oh, that'll be great.
That's good. He was terrific yesterday. Back talking about Breaking Bad.
Yep.
What?
So,
I don't even know what to say anymore. I go through so many emotions Sunday, and then I sort of did the thing with what you did. How did you do it? I paused the game at halftime because it was so late by the time the weather delay was. I was like, you know what? I have to watch Breaking Bad now. I'll get back to the game later. And but you go through the emotions of football, and then you watch that, and you're just not ready for it, no matter what.
I had, even though it was the lead of my column about what to do with the decision, I totally forgot. I had to go to this party yesterday for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
that I was actually wanted to go to. I just forgot that it was last night. Mm-hmm. So I had to go silence until 7:30. Wow. Got home at 7:30. Didn't look at my phone. I didn't want to see a text or anything, and I just immediately watched the game. I taped the Niners game and watched it DVR. Was not happy about having to do that.
But, no, I don't like doing it either. But Mother Nature did.
You know the one thing with watching football like that, though, you can bang out a game in like 40 minutes.
It's great. You go on double.
There are a lot of commercials.
You go on double forward on the DVR.
Yeah.
And then you could stop it right before every play. And
it's amazing.
It's terrific. It's nice.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, oh, should I watch every football game like this? Because I'm zooming through this. But
then you have to shut down Twitter and everything.
But I watched the Breaking Bad first, and I don't remember. Gus texted me after. He's like, I don't remember ever feeling like this after a television show. I felt the same way. I felt sad. I was disappointed in myself as a human. Like I just went through, but it almost went too far.
Yeah, and it was unapologetic grief, like all throughout, and then just insanity mixed in with that. But
it was just grueling. I mean,
I would have thought
emotionally.
We all have problems of what's our favorite drama of all time, and you want to throw The Sopranos or The Wire or Breaking Bad. Let me tell you, if Vince Gilligan, if last night's episode would have just been an hour more of the shootout, nothing else, I would have loved it. Just them shooting at each other, nothing else happens, and then there's two left.
It's true. They could have shown more of the shootout.
Yeah, just do the whole episode of the shootout. Could he have gotten away with that? That would have been the greatest.
So he pulls Jesse out from under the car.
Yeah.
Jesse gives the nod for the Nazis to kill him. Jesse looks up at the two crows. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kill Jesse. And then somehow it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. But now it's going to be tough because we know that Walt goes back for the ricin. And you want to believe that he goes back to save Jesse, who's now enslaved to cook meth for these Nazis. But boy, he did give the go-ahead to kill him. And that's rough.
Well, not only is this weird though, I felt like worse than giving the go-ahead to kill him was telling him about how he watched his old girlfriend OD. I was like, it was bad when you gave the order to kill him, but that really crossed the line.
I think you know what that was? I was like, in case people didn't see him nod to give the okay, we must establish that this is not only a bad guy. This is the worst guy you'll come across in this Walter White.
Well, so the beginning scene. Because I watched all those Breaking Bads all at the same time. I actually thought that was just a scene they ran back. I didn't realize that they filmed that.
That never ran, you're saying, right?
Yeah, no, they filmed that like when they were filming this season.
But did that? Oh, they did, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they put a wig on him and everything.
Yeah, they did. That Greenwald said that was all makeup and whatever. And I was watching. I was just like, oh, that must have been one of the scenes when I was watching 3 Breaking Bads, and then I don't really remember the scene.
No, I was saying, I was like, I probably, there's no way I'm going to really remember, but I don't think this happened. I don't remember Skylar ever being that cheerful. But,
well, she was the big winner last night.
Yeah, she was. And it's good. I'm glad they didn't make the family go with him, because that would have been kind of stupid. So, he runs away. But the two things bugged me. What were the two things that bugged me? I wrote it down. The two things that bugged me, were first of all, the cancer survivor rolling a barrel through the desert. I just don't like it. He's got stage 4 cancer. Who knows how far that house was with the Native American? I don't buy it so much. I know he ran out of gas and he had to.
Are you sure he has cancer?
I guess we don't know for sure, but isn't that the idea?
I don't know. He's a pathological liar. I'm gonna say I have my guard up with Walt's cancer diagnosis.
I guess so. All right. Second thing is, Walt Jr. all of a sudden is like Rampage Jackson jumping on Walt Sr., keeping him from he's fighting with the wife, with Skyler. What was that?
Well, when you see your mom in trouble, you can really rise to the occasion.
I guess so, but he had the ground and pound and everything going. Like, I don't know. That surprised me. But other than that, just terrific.
I thought that the knife scene was just incredible. And I actually had to pause it.
Which one? What scene?
The whole knife scene with the wife. I actually had to pause it because I couldn't handle it.
Really? Wow.
I didn't know what was going on with my body. I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Oh, they set it up so good because they show the phone and they show the knife right next to it. What could she? Obviously she could call the police, but she went for it.
My wife, who doesn't watch the show because she fell asleep when we were starting to watch it, and I just gave up and started Netflix cheating on her. So she watched last night with me, and she had a lot of problems with Skylar letting Walt leave with the baby. She said, first of all, any mom punches the window and breaks it.
Yeah, I don't know if she even tried to open the door, did she?
No, she didn't try to open the door. Like, there was no real urgency. And then on top of it, when Walt's pulling out, like, she's like, I would have jumped in the car.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
you're not taking my baby. You're at least I'm getting thrown off the car as it's going 30 miles an hour. I thought those were some good points.
My wife said the same thing, but I chalk it up as, all right, here's just another example of her trying to prove that she's a better mother than I am a father, so I'm just going to let her talk. You know?
Yeah. So this ends with the two moms living in a house together, right? The
yeah,
sisters.
I was thinking that.
Spin-off.
Is it bad that I was crushed by Hank's death, but I don't really feel bad for Marie. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jerk.
Well, Marie is a shoplifter.
Yeah, that's going to come out.
Yeah, I mean,
change everything.
You know, she's committed some crimes too.
Yeah.
I ended up watching the show twice because
you did?
because physically I wasn't processing everything because it was too intense.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I watched it, I thought Walt had just lost his mind. Mm-hmm. And when he made that phone call at the end with the police there, it was like, first he screws up with the phone call to Jesse.
Yeah.
Where Jesse makes believe he knows where the barrels are and Walt just doesn't see it. Mm-hmm. And doesn't realize he's been duped, which, in my opinion, was the most uncharacteristic Walt moment of the entire run of episodes. Like, hey, really, this guy outsmarted Gus, but Jesse, the freaking half-wit crystal meth addict, was able to outwit him with the barrels. Mm-hmm. But then, when he called the police, I thought, all right, Walt's just, how does he not know the police is there? He's just losing his mind. Mm-hmm. So then I talked to my friend Hershey last night, and he said how his wife said she thought Walt knew the police were there, and that was his way of getting the wife off the hook. And then I felt like a moron that I didn't see that when I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, am I the stupidest person on the planet? No, I didn't realize that as I was watching it.
That was definitely it. But I don't know if how much he planned that. Like, did he take the baby thinking that then there would be an Amber Alert, and he can then call and get Skylar off the hook and then leave the baby in a safe place?
No.
Or when the baby looked up and said, Mama, did he then realize I can't go forward with this? That's probably more likely what happened. But yeah, he was definitely getting her off the hook. And when she hesitated, when he asked if the police were there, he knew for sure that was his end.
But don't you feel like she figured out about halfway through that phone call what he was doing?
Yeah, she knew too. She knew.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
She wins the Emmy for that episode.
They're just great. They're all so great. I don't know what you do. And we're in a bind here because we're going to the Emmys next Sunday, and we're nominated. And
all right, we know you're going to the Emmys. We get it. We get it. Jesus,
I was sitting to the side.
How great are your seats?
Well, they're not going to be great at all because we all want to go to. We all want to watch on our iPads. We want to watch the last episode or the penultimate episode, which is usually the best of the series.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. So you're going to be at the Emmys as the second to last episode is happening.
Why didn't they skip this Sunday? Usually they skip the Emmy Sunday. They don't run an episode. Like I think Mad Men did that and a few what other Sunday shows.
How great would it have been if the Cowboys were playing the Sunday night game too?
I know.
And then your son had like a nighttime flag football game.
Yeah, it's all adding up. But yeah, I don't know what we want to do here.
Well, I'm just going to say, as somebody who was there those first 18 months on the show, I'm actually the most excited for the Emmys.
You are? Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, this is a 12-year odyssey or 11-year odyssey.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
But the thought of the T-Man and Rick Rosner hosting and holding an Emmy, I mean, Jesus.
What about
what's more exciting than that?
The thought of Jon Stewart not even showing up and winning again and again and again.
Well, see, I had some problems with Jon Stewart not going.
Yeah, he's sort of screwed any way he looked, because he wanted to. I think he wanted to. There was talk last year about him withdrawing his name from contention, and then that's weird. And then if he doesn't go, that's weird. But if he goes, that's weird. If he makes a big speech, a big deal out of it. How many times could he apologize for winning?
Well, he's in a lot of trouble because his agent left him unprotected this year. And
that's baby doll.
And let him
for
do
you.
this movie. And John Oliver came in. The ratings stayed the same. And as far as I'm concerned, this is James Dixon's Waterloo. This is the equivalent of Walt falling for Jesse in the Barrels.
You know what? We may have to have a 5-hour dinner. We may have to record this dinner. This could really.
The Wednesday night dinner?
It could get physical. Yeah, because James Baby Doll Dixon will be there, and we will. You will repeat exactly what you just said to me, as you've done before. He's not going to be happy about it.
There's been a lot of email chains about it. We're all worried about his competency at this point. Yeah, no, I think you guys have a real chance.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
It's too bad they're not Lions for the writing staff Emmys.
It's funny because one of our head writers was wondering if he was going to make a speech, Gary Greenberg, and he asked Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, don't even jinx it like that. I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want from this point forward. It's not going to matter.
What if you guys won the writing staff Emmy? What your executive producer Jill Lederman? What kind of crying would happen on her part?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Would she pass out? Would she do the thing where you're crying so hard you actually faint?
Yeah, you're talking Snooki season 1. I think it could be bad. It could be really bad.
Snooki season 1 level crying.
You're gonna have to talk to me. We have to. Obviously, I'm not gonna get to say anything. Jimmy will make a speech, but I will get to shove one of the writers off the stage. So.
If you don't do that, I'd be devastated.
Well, we have to talk about who.
Do you think Jill would be? You think she would be like Skylar with the Walt's car driving away, where she just so overcome by emotion just sinks to the ground?
That would be it. Just head tilted to the side. Yeah.
So this award will be on the show.
Yeah,
it's not stuck on the Creative Arts show or any of that stuff.
They alternate every other year. So last year it was the Creative Arts show, which was yesterday, the week before. But this year, yeah, it's in the big Emmy telecast.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then then the show itself is up for an Emmy.
Right. I think we have a chance. I mean, I've read a lot of articles last year out there that said Jon Stewart's done and this and that, and then just ends up being the same thing.
I think you have a chance.
All right.
Why wouldn't you have a chance? The show's got a lot of buzz right now.
All right, that's good. I
don't think it's a great idea to bring Rick. I really think you guys need to think about that some more.
Really?
Well, or make sure maybe he has somebody who watches him.
Yeah. Yeah, he should. His
or
wife at home.
Like a bodyguard, like what they asked to do with John Belushi back in the 70s.
Maybe we hire Huel, the Breaking Bad bodyguard.
I don't trust Rick on the stage on live TV. I got to be honest.
What do you think? You think he'll run out nude? What could he do?
I think his pants might go down. Yeah. I think something crazy. I think there's never been a better chance for him.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
on live television on a stage. Like at that point, he just goes for it.
He's come a long way. He was writing jokes for Remote Control for Colin Quinn. Now this is his big moment.
It's amazing. So with Breaking Bad, 2 episodes left, and we think.
Well, the only thing is, I thought he's coming back to save Jesse. He's definitely coming back to revenge fuel. You know, he's got the rice and he's pulling it out. That much we've seen. But boy, the way he left it with Jesse, it's kind of weird now. He was going to kill him. He gave the okay to kill him.
I don't think. I don't think he comes back to save Jesse. I think he comes back to get his money.
Well, then if that's the case, it's a year later. Those yahoos went through $70 million. You know, that's just not around, right?
See, I mean, when you talk about spin-off shows, like how I would rank them,
yeah,
the Nazis spending $70 million would be right up there for a spin-off show for me.
That's
like, what if they
bad.
tried to buy an NBA team or something?
Yeah.
Actually, I guess maybe like an MLS team they could probably get for that.
You know what? Seacrest is going to get his hands on that, and it will be a show. You'll see.
$70 million is a lot of cash. I like the reaction. Plus, there are the 2 guys in the back who look like a little like the Wyatt brothers in wrestling.
Right. Oh, that's good.
You have the 2 guys who are the recognizable Nazi guys, but then the 2 henchmen in the back, and those guys are like, yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. What a show! I don't know how they topped the last 2 episodes.
You know what? I'm getting in that Sopranos part though. That area where no ending is going to satisfy me. I'm just so mad at them for ending it that I'm just going to be devastated with the ending either way. I have to get out of that mindset. I have to grow up a little in the next 14 days.
Would you respect or hate Vince Gilligan if it ended with Walter may be about to get shot, but it just goes to black.
Yeah, we can't have that again. He wouldn't be able to do that again, right?
You're still upset about that.
I hate it. I hate the whole thing about it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the do-it-yourself TV. Tell us what you want to happen.
The Cuz, good luck this weekend.
All right, Billy. Check out my Grantland blog. I made money for everyone again for 2 weeks in a row. I don't know what I have to do. Every Friday afternoon it comes out.
The BS Report listeners are behind Team Sal and the JKL staff for the Writing Emmy. This is exciting.
Good job by you, Billy. Thank you.
Are we going to talk Monday?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
All right. We'll talk to you Monday.
All right.
That'll even be better than this one. Good job by you.
Goodbye.
Target % off. Whoa.
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Podcenter at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.
Geico presents Strange Savings Stories. Astronomers detected an interstellar transmission. It stated, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. The implications were staggering. Was the cosmos telling us we could all save hundreds on car insurance with Geico? Or did their radar merely pick up a signal from the nearby Rufus and Clyde's morning show? We may never know.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.